Okay. First off, why did I short? Obviously, there's this and there's this, right? That's what I had been watching majority of the time. I wish there was flip here, but we can't fit all those things on the dashboard, sadly, or on the recording. But continuing forward, let's just keep watching this. Yeah, I was just paying attention to the 5,400. That was my main trade because we were at the 30 wall, right? And once again, not enough pickup at 50 for me to care. So that's why I went short. So overall, like, don't get me wrong, very good trade, from 54.20 or 54.30 at the open, basically down to whatever the low of day was at the time, and then full exit. So I mean, good trade, but not the best trade of the day, obviously. It is what it is, but still. So that's essentially why I picked that trade, if it makes sense. See, kind of tapping through this. I want to see when we picked up at 54.50. How did he say 54 was 54.30 was DX magnet? Okay, right. Right here. It has the most exposure across like everything, right? That's why I flipped to 54.30 being the magnet. If you look at today at 54.30, right? 54.30 was acting like resistance for a good amount of time. Or sorry, even support actually, because it was below. That's a very autistic line. Close enough, but 30 is like right here-ish around this area. So as you can tell, like we're holding above 30 once we kind of got above it, right? This one was a little bit sus because we wicked below, but you can tell 30 is acting like support pretty easily. Next trade idea that I saw was like a maybe good one was that we broke above here, right? And we got that. We broke above R2. And this isn't a trade I would personally take. I would have waited for the retest to come back down. But however, smaller time frame, you see this wick right here. Right now, you go to a smaller time frame, you can see what it looks like on a 1 minute. What a perfect and clean retest. What a clean retest. So the other thing next up, so you wouldn't have caught, actually, you would have had a really dirty entry right here. Could have trimmed here. I don't think break even stops would have been triggered, especially if you were already at the money. If you picked like 40 calls or like 45 calls, should have been fine. But right, this was a really solid trade. Retest of the reversion level, target hit, reversion 3, right? Does that make sense, guys? So that's like basic price action trade. So I think going forward, what I wanted to do with these overviews is not so much overview, but try to point out different opportunities for different trades, right? Because like the most like bread and butter strategy we already know is like, where's DX magnet? Is it above us? Okay, if it's above us, are we at a reversion level or are we at a GEX support level? And if there's, since the DX magnet is above us, do we have positive delta building up at the said support level? If that's the case, and the answer is yes to all of those, then that's a good long, right? However, that's not the only way to use the dashboard. That's just the highest probability way to utilize the dashboard. Does that make sense, guys? Confirm in chat that makes sense. Obviously, there's many ways to use the dashboard, so I hope everyone kind of understands that. That's just the highest probability way. Perfect. So the next trade that I would have taken is probably, right, break above this. Personally, I don't like taking breakouts. We all know that. So this isn't actually a personal trade that I would have taken. Just not it for me. Number one, also lunch mac, like time frame wise doesn't line up because this move started happening at during 9 to 10, right? I don't trade during 9 to 10. I don't like taking positions during 9 to 10. So that's not a trade that I would take. But in terms of opportunity, if this happened at like 8 a.m. PST, this is a pretty good trade. Holding support, right? Holding previous resistance. Just overall, like very good PA right here. Break above the vol reversion level on top of previous high of day. Plus you get a retest and it holds, right? It holds. And then you get that squeeze up. But once again, bad timing on the trade. And I stress you will save yourself so much if you are very what's the word, selective with your trades. Yeah, that was a good push up, but timing just wasn't right. Does that make sense? I always stress timing. You need to have the right. Trades need to be timed properly. Like this trade, most people probably didn't catch because it was during the lunch hour. But yeah. Next one. Going back to this, let's continue watching. I want to see 150 picked up, right? So 30 is DGX magnet. It's not 5400 anymore. So we keep watching this through. We get to the next level here at 40. And now the magnet is 50. Right? This is bigger, almost bigger as this, if not the same. No, it's definitely bigger. So yeah, so we're at 40, right? We're at that reversion level. 40, I believe, for 38. So I think that's the first rejection off of that. Yeah. So that was break above. This is the retest happening. This is a retest candle. And then we get that bounce up. Yep. This is definitely the retest candle. There it goes. Yeah. Okay. So once again, that's a good trade. Why? You got a retest with the magnet at 50, right? Before magnet is still 50 right now, right? Does that make sense, guys? Magnet 50, you get a retest of the reversion level after you break above it. Does that make sense, guys? Need confirmation in chat, Ryan. Moving on. Got to make sure everyone understands the different types of trades you guys can take. One person gets it, good enough for me. But yeah, continuing forward, continue watching the data. Do you think it would be a good entry above the sold calls? Yeah, that's also a very good trade too, right? Because I see the sold calls right here. Bear or not, it's not sold calls, sold puts. Sold puts. So that's another indication, right? Sold puts being a bullish position at 54.30. Yeah. Also good confluence for more upside. Also, next thing I already noticed, Vana flip is like you have positive Vana going all the way up to here maybe, and I'm sure it continues to rise. Yeah, so Vana flips at 45.50. So then that's why, as you can tell, at 45.50 area, we ran into resistance, right? Continuing to watch this forward. I want to see Vana. Yeah, see Vana flip now is higher up. It's at 650. Oh no, that's 60. So it's even higher. Yeah, so it's even higher than 60. It's at 60, 65, 70 now. 54.70. Now 75. Right? Picking up. Now 80, 85. Wow. So just little things, right, that you always have to pay close attention to. Continuation is best spotted by Vana. Also, okay, pay close attention to something like this. This curve, where we currently are, is relatively flat, right? Do you guys see that? Right? It's flat up until maybe about here. It starts picking up. You can even consider this here, but that's still 5, 10, 15 to 20 points up more on the curve, in the sense of like it's not steepening, where it's relatively flat. Remember, right? It may be harder to push up, but that is still more towards the direction that the market's going to go if it's steeper. But still, that's a relatively flat area in which we're at. And then as soon as we get up to here, once again, it starts steepening out right here, where like near low IV is below us. So it's hard for number one, the stock to continue pushing up, although it does. So not everything lined up for longs. However, there are some things, right? Vana flip is still higher. You have interest all the way up here. Okay, so this is a good indication that we're likely not going to go, right? DGX right here. Always pay attention to DGX, right? This is very small. This is still very big, right? 80, 75. I'm sure you know exactly where we closed today. Right around 75. Right. Especially with this little time in the market left, maybe like 2 hours or so, and DGX really isn't picking up 5,500, right? The main thing is DGEX didn't pick up 5,500 and we hit what 88. So we're 12 points away from 5,500 and it still didn't pick up interest. That's what you don't want to see if you're in longs and you're targeting 5,500. So that isn't a valid target in my opinion. Yeah, plus you can see what happens with the IB curve. Look how where we are right now in comparison right here, right? It starts steepening out a lot more to go up versus this side is flat. Does that make sense? I think the rest is just chop into the end to that couple point drop. Yeah. So 75 was the close. Does that make sense, guys? Got it. Cool. 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 All right, questions. Keep it simple, show different strategies, different ways of reading the dashboard. Hit me with questions. This is the time. Yeah, you want to see the adjusted bars pick up to stay long above spot, correct? You want to see the interest above where the current bars pick up, like how 5430, right? 5,300 earlier in the day, right? Was or 5,400, sorry, was the biggest one, right? But then 5430 picked up, right? And then even then after 5450 is a big bar here, right? You'll see different levels start picking up once we're above 50, right? 55 picks up. Then look at all the other bars start increasing, right? They just start getting bigger and bigger. See? Why is it so fucking hot in my house? Might have missed the open. I played 25% put for 23 around 850. No, I didn't catch the Jeter. I didn't catch the run up either. I caught shorts for 45%. So we're in the same boat. Did you see footprint confluence on the way up? Yeah, all positive. All positive. There was like one candle with a lick of negative, but even then it was like it wasn't even a divergent delta. It was just a red candle. When we go so far above the reversion levels like today, is that typically an indication we're going to fly? Actually, something worth noting. I didn't even think about that. That could also be something really good. But one thing about the reversion levels today, in my opinion, were that why I also didn't expect to move. Typically, you'll see the reversion in like near 10 points away from each other, right? But today they were like 6 points, 6 points. Yeah, all positive delta last hour. Yep. But yeah, today they were like 6 points apart from each other, right? These zones are all 6 point zones. Usually they're like 10 to 15, objectively around 10. But today they were 6, so that's why I wasn't expecting movement. That's something worth keeping track of, actually. Very good thing to keep track of. Write that down. Once you run vol reversion levels, if you do it again later, do they give you same levels? No, they'll give you different ones based upon spot price. Just per the formula. Is there a pause previous video on Gex raw versus de-adjusted versus delta skewed? Versus vol skewed. Not really. The main one is just use the adjusted, in my opinion, and Gio's opinion. That's the main one that we're all gonna use, that we both like pretty much solely use. I occasionally have raw because I want to see the raw flip. That's really about it, personally. What is Gex skewed adjusted? It's based upon the volatility skew. Can you show the current gamma chart and explain what your thought is for tomorrow as of now? Like I said, I don't really like talking about next day gamma because it's like, in my opinion, not very important until the day of, because you want it to settle like 15-20 minutes in. Largest is, that's odd, but we'll see what happens. Like, this is what I mean. It's messy. I rather wait for the morning in like 15-20 minutes, not looking for plays, just practicing looking at data. I don't think looking at overnight or anything post close or pre-open is like important. If you want to learn more at looking at the data, go to Liquidos's YouTube. I think that's going to be your best bet in learning and kind of reading through that stuff. Can we expect a big move at EOD when Gex goes above 20 bill? Personally, I don't trade end of day. For those who do know, I don't like I don't like trading power hour. That's just me. That's too much of a gamble for my taste. So I don't pay close attention to end of day stuff. But the main one is always going to be like, okay, what is the biggest bar? Because we're likely going to end there. That's pretty much what your directionary, I guess, bias can be. Like today, like there's no pickup at 5,500. We're sitting at 54.88, right? And the main one is 54.75. You may as well just lotto some puts as your directional bias. Does that make sense? Any more questions? There are no more questions. 38 people. That's a lot of people today. I feel like some people definitely joined late. You have to watch the recording. All right, I don't see any more questions popping up. So I give another couple seconds. If you got slow typing fingers, you better speed it up. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no more questions. Then we're gonna do another giveaway this week, but this time around we're gonna do a monthly giveaway. So for 1 week, but I'll post that. I think I want to post that Wednesday. Just be ready for that for when that comes out. So that'll be, I'll post it at the end of Wednesday's class and I'll select the winner for a free month on Friday. How's that sound? Perfect. We'll do that then. And if you have an account already, you can still participate. We'll send you the code if you do win, and you just resub with that one afterwards. Oh, market's closed on Wednesday. We'll do Tuesday. We'll do tomorrow. Yeah, I'll post it tomorrow. It'll just basically be a tweet. All you got to do is the 4 following, like, retweet, comment, and then make sure you're following us. So 4 things to get the potential free month. Yeah, market's closed on Wednesday. Bank holiday, Juneteenth. Thank God. Love not trading. It's relaxing. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully the reviews are helping. They're going to get quicker and quicker as we go, right? The more often we do it, the shorter the classes will be. And we'll go from there. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys tomorrow at the open. Everyone have a great evening. And as always, keep moving forward.